I am Taylor Gill, a member of the Board of Trustees. I welcome you this Sunday service at the UU Church of Columbia. I am a pale-skinned, very curly hair young woman. We are a congregation of many beliefs, striving together to embody courageous love, radical welcome, and deep connection, and we are glad you are here. Welcome. We offer a live stream of our service and extend a warm welcome for those joining online. We strive to make our worship accessible, and you can find an accessible order of service with hymn lyrics included at our homepage, uucomo.org. There are listening assisted devices with our ushers near the entrance of the sanctuary, and if you are on Zoom, you can click the CC button for subtitles. For those of you with us in person, masks are now welcome, celebrated, and optional. We'd like to welcome any visitors among us this morning, any new visitors among us this morning, and invite you to find our Visitor Connect book in the greeting area. We'd love to stay in touch with you guys. Children and babies are always welcome in worship, and we also have a lively children's program for all ages and nursery care for our youngest ones in the lower level. Children are invited to Sunday school after our centering time of embroidered prayer. Now let us settle into this time and place with the help of our choir, or with
Many years ago, in a darker time, people lived in chaos. All around them, things seemed to fall apart. Clothes ripped, vessels leaked, appliances fell into disrepair. But one day, something amazing was created that changed the world. Was it a strong sword? No. A powerful wand? Oh, don't be ridiculous. A magic ring? Well, sort of. That amazing thing was the first ever roll of duct tape.
Lots of household stuff. Good morning. I'm the Reverend Molly Housh Gordon, the minister of this congregation. I am a woman with very long red hair on one side and very, very short red hair on the other side. I'm wearing a rust-colored top with a maroon blazer. Oh, laughter, giver of relaxed mouths, you who rule our belly with tickles, you who come when not called, you who can embarrass us at times. Send us stitches in our sides. Shake us till the water reaches our eyes. Buckle our knees till we cannot stand. We whose faces are grim and shattered, we whose hearts are no longer hearty. Oh, laughter, we beg you, crack us up. Crack us up.
Good morning. I'm Tim Dickerson. I'm your worship associate this morning. I am a tall, bald, very, very light-skinned man with a salt and pepper goatee, wearing a lavender lilac-ish shirt and a tie with a unicorn clip. And now we kindle our chalice flame to represent the cup of community that holds us and the inextinguishable flame of spirit that unites us. As I light our chalice, will you please join me in the words of affirmation printed in your order of service? Love is the spirit of this church.
And service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace,
To seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Our Director of Religious Education, Jamila Batchelder, usually does our centering moment on Sundays, but she is traveling today back from the National Conference of Unitarian Universalist Religious Educators. So we hope she's had a wonderful time there, and I know she'll bring lots of wonderful ideas back with her. This year at UUCC, we are thinking together about how we move well through precarious or uncertain times. And this month's theme, or answer to that question, is joyfully. So this morning, you may have figured out, we are thinking about the joy of laughter. And we are, indeed, in a moment in the greater world where things feel very uncertain. And one of the things that we can forget when everything feels very uncertain and heightened is that it's okay to take a break, to use the tools that help us feel grounded. Years ago, I took a training on ministering after trauma called a critical incident training. And there was a whole section of the training about how laughter in the immediate wake of a traumatic event helps stimulate the vagus nerve and bring the brain down from spinning fight and flight state into a more grounded way of being. So today, for our centering moment, and really for our whole service, I want to give you permission to get some endorphins. Ground yourself in warm and fuzzies as you continue your intensive work of being present to the world around us. Today's centering moment is a funny cat video compilation. Did you know that cats are terrified of cucumbers? You're about to find out, and I will narrate as we watch the video for accessibility's sake. So this first cat sees the cucumber and jumps away. The next one sees it and kind of lifts into the air. This little cat runs into the wall. This one looks like someone has shot it in the butt. This little cat just scurries back. This one jumps into the wall and is catapulted across the room. This one looks like someone has lifted it up with a string. This one just backs away slowly. This one backs into a corner before running away. This one leaps across the kitchen That one looked as if it was flung into the air from below. This one too. This little dude just jumps a little, but this one looks as if someone catapulted it. That little guy just runs away. This one backs away, but is still curious. This one is very startled. There are 3 cats here, and they all descend into chaos. That one kicked its water bowl at its friend. This one is very curious. The cucumber is on the table, and it's creeping up. Whoop, nope, too scary. This one thinks it can touch the cucumber, but is terrified. And I hope you are now centered. Thank you. So our centering song this month is a short little ditty from the beautiful chorus called Joy. And we decided for this Sunday of hilarity that we are going to trust some of you with egg shakers while we sing. We'll see if that ever happens again, depending on your success this morning. And Violet's going to remind us of the tune and maybe give us a harmony note or two and lead us through singing Joy. Joy is my guide. I'm going to walk through, and if any of the kids especially want to grab a rhythm instrument, feel free.
All right, so our melody part goes like this. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Let's try that again. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. So let's try this. If you've got an egg shaker, let's try to do this together. So it'll be a joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Great. If you want to sing a lower harmony, it goes like this. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Let's hear that melody. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. The higher harmony goes like this. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with. Let's try it as loud as we can. Joy, joy is my guide. And bring it down, nice and quiet. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life. One more time. Joy, joy is my guide. I move with life.
We're going to ask the children in a moment after the stones, when you leave for Sunday school, be sure to put the eggs back in the basket with Kenna, okay? We're not taking those with us, okay? Dear ones, I'd like to invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer or contemplation now as we join our hearts for the people of Israel and the people of Palestine. On Thursday, I was deeply moved to attend vigils for both peoples, one after the other. And I was struck most profoundly by the rigorous humanity of each person outside the social media echo chambers and the halls of power where global leaders beat the drums of war. I did not witness calls for violence or vengeance at either vigil. What I witnessed was pain born of love, born of passionate love for real people and precious lives. I witnessed a grief that was profoundly shared across the divisions that powers and principalities seek to enforce. It is our work to advocate in those halls of power that harm be stopped rather than magnified and spread. And it is our work to witness the pain of generational trauma, of past and present genocides, of structural violence and direct violence and oppression, of loss upon shattering loss. Amid all that is deeply tangled up as all human life is, let us not turn away, but let us witness this pain, and behind the pain, this love, and upholding this love and improbable hope that we can turn it all around somehow, even now, if we will keep human hearts open and tuned to one another. I share with you now a prayer written by two colleagues, one Jewish and one Muslim, Rabbi Tamar Elad Applebaum and Shika Ibitsam Muhammad, translated by Rabbi Amichai Lau Levi. It's called the Prayer of the Mothers. God of life, who heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds, may it be your will to hear the prayer of mothers. For you did not create us to kill each other, nor to live in fear, anger, or hatred in your world. But rather you have created us so we can give each other permission to sanctify your name of life, your name of peace in this world. For these things I weep, my eye runs down with water, for our children crying at nights, for parents holding their children with despair and darkness in their hearts, for a gate that is closing, and who will open it while day has not yet dawned? And with my tears and prayers which I pray, and with the tears of all women who deeply feel the pain of these difficult days, I raise my hands to you. Please, God, have mercy on us. Hear our voice, that we shall not despair, that we shall see life in each other, that we shall have mercy for each other, that we shall have pity on each other, that we shall hope for each other, and we shall write our lives in the book of life. For your sake, God of life, let us choose life. For you are peace, your world is peace, and all that is yours is peace. And so shall be your will, and let us say, Amen. Our hymn is one that has grounded us through times of great turmoil in our community. Number 155, Circle Round for Freedom. For the children of our children, keep the circle whole. I invite you to rise or remain seated as you are most comfortable. We're going to sing it twice together because it's short and we love it. so.
And now a reading from Eating the Sun by Ella Francis Sanders. When one is considering the universe, unseen matter, our backyard of stuff, I think it's important, sensible even, to try to find some balance between laughter and uncontrollable weeping. Cry because we cannot even begin to understand how beautiful it is. Cry because we are terribly flawed as a species. Cry because it all seems so shockingly improbable that maybe our existence could be nothing but a dreamscape. Celestial elephants in a room without walls. But then, surely, we can laugh. Laugh because being riddled head to toe with human emotions while trying to come to terms with just how indisputably tiny we are in the grand scheme of things makes absolutely everything and everyone seem quite ridiculous, entirely farcical. We have heads. Ridiculous. There are arguments about who is in charge here. Ridiculous. The universe is expanding. Ridiculous. We feel it necessary to keep secrets. Ridiculous.
one evening in June of 2020, I was deep in pandemic fear, exhaustion, and grief. I was also in personal fear, exhaustion, and grief as we were undergoing a slew of scary medical testing to diagnose my eldest child's mild chronic illness. And to be honest, I was a bit numb with it all, just powering through with my eyes glazed and my knuckles white. And that evening, I was mindlessly scrolling Instagram, and I stumbled across a cartoon meme. It was an image of a screaming possum dressed like the titular character from the Disney movie Aladdin, wearing a white bejeweled turban and floating on a flying carpet, and he had a raccoon dressed like Jasmine tenderly clinging to his back. And the caption read, "I can show you some trash." It's now up on the screen. I lost it. I started laughing in a way that quickly became entirely unhinged. I was not in control of my body. I laughed and laughed and laughed until tears began flowing from my eyes. I laughed until I realized I wasn't laughing anymore, but sobbing, just wailing in grief and worry and hilarity, just wailing. And then I looked at the image again, and suddenly I was laughing again. Or maybe I was still wailing. I didn't know anymore. It didn't matter anymore. I was just riding a wave that carried me. And eventually I found myself limp on the couch, wrung out, and so relieved. Our bodies cry in 3 different ways. We make basal tears that lubricate the eye for overall eye health. We make reflex tears that respond to stimuli in an attempt to clear or defend the eye from invading particles. And we make psychic tears, that's the term, that are triggered by emotions. Each of these tears, basal, reflex, and psychic, come from a different duct and have a different chemical makeup based on the needs of the body. So basal tears have minerals and amino acids for eye health. Reflex tears are rich in antibodies that our immune system uses to fight off invaders. And emotional tears often contain the neurotransmitter leucine and enkephalin, which is a natural painkiller that the body releases to mitigate stress. During a time of her own personal turmoil, photographer Rosalind Fisher wondered how tears looked close up. So she collected 100 samples, all taken under different circumstances, and she analyzed them under a microscope. What she discovered was that each tear portrayed a dramatic miniature landscape. She photographed these magnified images and turned them into a poetic series, artfully mapping the tearful terrain of her life at that time. And we'll have images now of these. She captured basal tears that looked like spare, small blood vessels branching off from one another. She captured reflex tears from cutting an onion. That's the next one. That look like snowflakes or fern leaves crowding the frame and infinitely complex. And then there were the emotional tears. She captured tears of grief that look like a very small town photographed from the sky. She captured tears of laughing till I'm crying that look more like a densely populated city captured from above. She got tears of change that look like onion tears and grief tears combined, crowded round circles with a spare rectangle in the middle. And she captured tears of timeless reunion, tears of ending and beginning, tears of momentum redirected, tears of release, tears of possibility and hope, tears of elation at a liminal moment, tears of remembrance, all of them variations on a theme of geometric shapes that look like aerial landscapes, all of them psychic tears, mapping the state of the heart, showing how our bodies are overcome by the joy and pain of this life. I'm struck that the joy tears and the grief tears under the microscope are not so very far apart. They are never very far apart, are they? Oh, laughter, send us stitches in our sides. Shake us till the water reaches our eyes. Buckle our knees till we cannot stand. We whose faces are grim and shattered, we whose hearts are no longer hearty, oh, laughter, we beg you, crack us up. Crack us up. My dear colleague lost her mother to cancer way too young, and she told me a story about the funeral. My colleague and her siblings were as devastated as you might imagine, but they knew that at the service they would have to stand for hours being present to other people's grief, and they did not know how they could get through it. So they sat down together, and they made dead mom bingo cards. A square for the moment where their uncle's eulogy goes way too long. A square for the deep sigh that descended down low. A square for the person who squeezes their shoulder too long. And so on. Through the receiving lines, the siblings could tell that the others of them were mentally tallying their cards. Bingo! They held back giggles, and they survived the terrible ordeal of it. They lived on into their grief as it carried them along its own winding route, knowing their shared humor was part of what brought them through, a way they could take back their agency in that moment of helpless loss. They were the ones who were devastated. They got to decide what was funny, a way to hold their shattered hearts. Oh, laughter, buckle our knees till we cannot stand, crack us up. We are cracking up. Are we going crazy? Are we broken open? Are we laughing? Are we wailing? Can our hearts hold it all? Laughter, shake us till the water reaches our eyes. Bring forth these tears that we must shed amid all that is shattered. Crack us open. As I prepared for church this week, I knew three things. One, my heart was aching and nearly numb from the escalating devastation in Israel and Palestine. Two, we're reminding ourselves this month that one of the ways we move through precarious times is joyfully. And three, that our choir had been preparing some really, really funny songs for weeks for a service this morning on humor. I couldn't quite bring myself up to joy this week, but I found myself thinking over and over again about that moment of laughing and wailing and weeping and laughing to a picture of a possum and a raccoon. And I realized there is something profound to be said about the ways we are cracked open and how necessary it is, how human it is to be cracked open by laughter and by tears, cracked open to our humanity, to our emotions, to all we try so hard to push away, and perhaps most importantly, cracked open to one another. In the face of this moment, we need profoundly to be cracked open to one another. Nothing about war and devastation is funny, nothing. But in this moment, we are called to emotional presence. We are called to witness one another rigorously in a way that opens our hearts to the humanity of each and all. We need tears, and perhaps it doesn't matter much which way they come, from cats that are terrified of cucumbers, through ridiculous kazoo music, or heartrending poetry. Under the microscope, they are all related. So we whose faces are grim and shattered, we whose hearts are no longer hearty, oh, laughter, we beg you, crack us up, crack us up. In this time when the horrors are stacking up and it is more than hearts can hold, Let us join together to keep our hearts as close to the surface as we can, as tender and present as we can make them. We can join wailing, cackling, heartbroken, hysterical. None of it's all that far apart. Laughter and devastation crack us up, crack us up, crack us up. And we're going to sing together. We laugh, we cry, knowing that we do both sometimes in the same moment. We're just going to do verses 1 and 4, and it's number 354 in your gray hymnal. I invite you to rise or remain seated as you're most comfortable.
We're now going to move into our membership ingathering ceremony, which is not noted in your order of service, but the texts that we will read together are the orange insert. Or white. Mine was orange. Membership in this free church is an invitation to dedicate your lives into the service of love and the kinship of community. It is the invitation to spend your lives with us, to spend them on that which is worthy and beautiful and good, and to take up your ministry, our ministry, of showing love to a world that needs our care. Upon joining our congregation, members join our covenant to show up for each other and for our world. And we do this week after week, reminded of our highest aspirations and blessed by connection within, between, and beyond us. As a covenantal faith, united not by creed, but by sacred vow, we promise to support one another in good times and in bad, to grow together on an adventure of the Spirit, and to work side by side for the healing of the world. This morning, We invite anyone who has attended a Membership 101 class or met with Reverend Molly about membership and who is ready to deepen their commitment to our community to join us in formal membership. There is no test of belief, only the requirement of commitment to this community. Will those of you who are ready to formally enter our membership or who have joined since our last new member ingathering, please come forward, sign our membership book if you haven't already, and introduce yourselves and be welcomed among us. Conga line.
Good morning, y'all. My name is Aaron Johns. I am a mid-20s non-binary person with short, black, graying hair. I know it's early. I've been visiting with you all for almost 2 years now, and I grew up in a very fundamentalist church, and this is the closest to a religious community I've ever had in my life. And so I'm very thankful to be taking this journey on with you all.
I should have gone first. You said a lot of things. I'm Lily Johnstone, and I'm so far a she, her, and I have red curly hair, and I'm wearing a black and white striped dress and black pants per choir requirements.
Hi, I'm Liz Bishop, and I've been coming to this church off and on for quite some time, and I am a pale woman with long brown hair and a black and white sweater.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christopher Merle. I use he, they pronouns. I first attended this church in 1995 with my there's a middle part. I missed some stuff. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm a firmly in middle age man with an undercut, a salt and pepper beard, and a brown top. So, thank you.
Hi, my name is Vulture Young. I am an early middle-aged white man with a buzzed head and a black mask and a black and gray outfit, and I'm just excited to be here. So, yay.
So I invite you now to join us in the reading of our covenant, printed in your order of service of white or orange color. As we say, we, the members of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Columbia, welcome you into the membership of this community of faith. We are grateful for your commitment to our life together. We renew our covenant with each other to seek meaning and truth in love, to respond to the calling of justice, and to be strengthened by our life together. We now extend this covenant to you. Welcome. And now, new members, it is your turn. As we now recite these words together, I freely enter into membership in the Unitarian Universalist Church of Columbia, accepting all of the rights and responsibilities therein. As I am able, I promise to bring my whole self to this congregation and to give and receive in the spirit of gratitude and hope. I join in this community's covenant to seek meaning and truth in love, to respond to the calling of justice,
and to be strengthened by our life together.
And all together, having affirmed one another and renewed our covenant, we now dedicate ourselves once more to our faith of courageous love and our communion of deep connection. You may now be seated. Thank you for being among us this morning.
Every week, we are invited into a time of gratitude and generosity to practice our deep spiritual value of stewardship, caring for this community and all we hold dear by sharing our gifts with one another. Our offering this morning will be for the ongoing work of this congregation. If you prefer to give online or by text, please see your order of service for details as our ushers now move through the sanctuary and we hear another piece from our choir.
Well, this service has been a wild ride. This life is a wild ride. Go forth laughing and crying and laughing and crying again. Go forth with hearts that are so, so open. And take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the stakes are very high, and the path is never clear, but take courage. For deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. Go in blessing and be a blessing to a world that needs our care. And let us sing our benediction.